Ari Goldwag here. We are beginning the 4th edition of the Alei Shur podcast. I want to remind you about my sefer, Perfectly Imperfect, Breaking Out of the Ordinary and Striving for Greatness. Go out and get that. It's in all good Judaica stores. I'd like to share with you the beginning of the sefer Alei Shur. We read the first introduction. Now we get to the Mavo Hashar, the introduction at the gate. Birchovos Atuna Tiel Adam. In the roads of Athens, there was a certain person who was walking around. Atzar kol ezrach shepagash v'shalo. He stopped each individual that he saw, that he met, and he asked him the following question. Kol echad et otah sheila. Each person asked the same exact question. Ketzad lechyot. How do you live? Shalosh zos himshich l'sh'ol kol yimei chayav. This question he continued to ask his entire life. Et kol sheba ito b'maga. Whoever he came in contact with. Shoel zeh haya Socrates. Hagadol shebu umos ha'olam. The person who was asking this question, his name was Socrates. He was the greatest philosopher of the nations of the world. Adam acher b'tkufa acheres, another person in a different time. Halach ba'od hayom gadol v'avuka b'yado. He walked around, and the day it wasn't even at all dark yet. It was still full daylight, and he had a torch in his hand. Kasher shalu lama hu machzik avuka b'tzarayim. When they asked him, why are you holding a torch in the afternoon? Heshiv, he answered, Ben Adam ani mechapes. I'm searching for a human being. Gam zeh haya batuna. This is also in Athens. Mechapes hazeh haya echem migdoli Hogia. The person who was searching was one of the great men of Hogia. Zeh haya batuna. This was in Athens. Sham shalu ketzad lechios. Sham chipsu beneres ben Adam. In Athens, so they looked for people, looked for human beings with a torch, and they asked, how do you live? But in Jerusalem, it was not necessary for them to ask this question. Because they already knew there how to live. And there in Jerusalem, in all of the times, true human beings lived. How do we live? How does one live? By keeping the commandments that a person does in order to live them, to live. The one who created all life, Hashem, God, He also revealed to us how a person fills his life. The kli, the vessel, which is our human life. So it's too weak to truly hold all that which the Creator intended that we fill it up with, that we fill our lives with. Ulam, however, kol pina bekli zeh melea v'kedusha b'machshava. Every single corner of this vessel is completely filled with thought. Dibur umasa, speech and action. Ein rega rik b'chayei haTorah. There's no empty moments when it comes to the life of the Torah person, the Torah life. If you want to find a person who's involved in Torah, you don't have to search for him with torches. From Moses until the very last of the prophets. From Ezra the scribe until the righteous one Shimon. Till Rebbe who compiled the Mishnah, until Rav and Abaye, the great Amoraim of the Talmud, Arabesinu HaRamam v'HaRamban, until Maimonides, Nachmanides, Vada Machaber v'Agra, until the Baal Machaber, the one who wrote the Shulchan Aruch, and the Gra, Rabbeinu Eliyahu, HaChavetz Chaim v'Chazon Ish, down to our generations, Chavetz Chaim who lived 100 years ago, the Chazon Ish who lived 70 years ago. Taras Ha'adam Gidlas Ha'adam Hashalim B'chol Dor V'Dor. The Torah of the human being, the true human being, is what raised the human being throughout each generation. The names that we mentioned, these are people who we know because of their books and because of their actions, because of their greatness. Well, they were not the only people in their generation. They were not just individuals who were great. Alongside them there were many tens of thousands, great people who had reached greatness, levels of perfection, great people. which may not be known by their name. Many people know about them, but that didn't become so famous that they became well known throughout the Jewish people. And we, this last generation, we can also know how to live. Each and every one of us has the ability to perfect ourselves, become a perfect human being as best as we can. Every single person who wants perfection, who wants greatness, can be close to Moses, our teacher of blessed memory. That's what the Rambam says at the beginning of Pirkei Hatzlacha. We have the Torah. And someone who knows how to live, and he lives according to his knowledge, according to what he knows, we can reach the purpose of life. The concepts of the Torah, the words of the Torah, are not just ideas and completely removed ideas, but Torah's chaim is the Torah of life. So this is the Torah of life that we have the different levels. We have an interplay between learning and action. Torah bli ma'isa and Torah chaim. If we have learning Torah without action, that's not life. That's not the Torah of life. But just having commandments, going through the actions without learning the Torah, that doesn't fill up a person's life. The nations of the world are trying to unravel the chida, that question, what is the world about? They're trying to unravel that secret, looking at all the revelations of the scientists about the essence of the world and life. What's the truth? And through this they have a world view. Sometimes it reaches to some kind of action-based conclusion. And sometimes it's just an intellectual understanding. Scientists may not have a conclusion as to how a person should live, what the purpose of life is. They may find lots of things out about what's going on in the world, what the physical reality is about, but they may not know what the ramifications of that are. Torah eina hashkafas olam. The Torah is not a worldview. Shrei einena hashkafas adam. It's not a human understanding. It's not a human outlook. Elihi chachmas binyan ha'olam atzmo. The Torah is the wisdom of the actual building of the world itself. As we find, he brings a Mishnah Mikvos, chapter 9, Mishnah Hey, Mishnah 5. Elu chotzes bekelim hazefes ba'amor v'chulei, al begodam yitzad echad in chotzes, mishneh sadim chotzes v'chulei. It's all Mishnah talking about the ideas of chatzitza. Rabbi Yossi Amar shal banoim mitzad echad v'shal bor mishneh sadim. It speaks about a particular garment of a banai. A banai is a builder. What's a builder? So the Gemara in Shabbos Taf Kuf Yudal Amarav says, "My banoin." What are these builders that we're referring to here? Amar Rabbi Yechanan Elu Talmidei Chachamim. These are the students of Torah, the students of wisdom. Those who are learning Torah, they're involved in building. They're builders. They build the world all of their days. He doesn't mention this here, but the famous statement, we speak about the people who are building the world. The Torah is the wisdom of building the world. Therefore, those who are the Torah scholars, they're the builders. They're involved in building the world. Which world are we speaking about? Olam ha'adam. Speaking about the world of the human being. There are two levels that a person must pass through in order to reach his desired destination. To reach the levels of perfection. First, a person first needs to enter into the world of Torah. This is something a person needs to do, and it involves giving up many of a person's personal desires, and it's very similar to someone who's being drafted into the army. They take away from the soldier his civilian garments. He just becomes a number in the army. He doesn't have any will of his own. The commands of his supervisors, the officers who are in charge of him, they force him to a lifestyle or an order of life which has to do with his army. However, in a later stage, once he's gotten used to, he's moved in to the life of being in the army, there are many opportunities to rise in level within the army, within those levels of the army. And he can use his talents in order to do this, in order to rise up this way. We find that the verse refers to the Jewish people as the army of God. It's in Parshas Bo, in the 6th Aliyah. This is the essence of the Jewish people. We are the army of God in the world. We fight against the entire world in order to do the will of God. What does it mean, fight against the rest of the world? He fights within himself. He fights with himself. A person from the Jewish people who enters into the yoke of the commandments, he is being drafted into the army of Hashem, of God, the God of Israel. So now he has to listen to the commandment of his God. He wears a uniform, tzitzis with tefillin. So tzitzis and then tefillin. He holds a sword. He becomes learned. He learns how to battle, to wage war. Tefillah v'Torah. This is the prayer. This is the Torah. As the pasuk says, Yaakov Avinu refers to B'charbi v'kashti, with my sword and with my bow. But Salusi v'vusi, right? And the Unkel translates it as with my prayers, my requests. This is in Parshas Vayechi, Shlishi. And the commands of the army of God also require thoughts and speech. Lo rak ma'aseh, it's not enough to have action. Ulam. However, hamisragal b'avodas b'tzva Hashem motzeh basibuk rav. A person who accustoms himself to serving in the army of God, he finds a tremendous amount of satisfaction. Misbar kishuv ein hamashal damil nimshal. And it comes out that the analogy is no longer similar to that which we're trying to compare it to. That when it comes to Torah, so the person who is being brought into the army of God, who is being drafted, doesn't get lowered. He doesn't lose his individuality. By being drafted into the army of God, he specifically finds out who he is. And there's a many-tiered, many-level ladder. There are many levels on this ladder that he's standing now, that's standing in front of him, that he can rise up upon. Through which he himself, in his own individuality, in the own person that he is, he becomes raised up higher and higher in levels. We find many levels when it comes to our teachers, Chazal, the sages of blessed memory, the earlier commentators, the later ones. We find the ladder of Pinchas ben Yair. He speaks about it speaks about the levels. You start off with learning Torah, then you get to being careful, and then all the levels that get you all the way up to the point where a person can bring the dead to life and can experience divine inspiration. The Sulam HaRambam, HaMuva L'Kaman VaHaRamban, B'Yars HaRamban. We have the ladder of the Rambam of Maimonides. We have a ladder of the Ramban who speaks about the levels in his letter. And many different examples of this amongst the great authors. This book as well is a ladder with levels that brings a person in the life of Torah through the different levels of teaching oneself, educating oneself, and serving Hashem. From there, a person is brought to a level of renewal, of an outpouring. And from there, a person gets to the holiness of life. It speaks about it speaks about the levels in Torah, from making oneself like a midbar, like a wilderness, so a person receives a gift. From the gift, he gets nachliel, becomes something that he inherits. From there, bamos. We'll see what that means. So now we're entering into the gate, which is the gate which enters into the world of Torah. We come in with careful, measured steps and with measured words. The main concepts, the main precepts that a person who's starting off has to get accustomed to, has to practice, are going to be explained here. Since here we're not just giving a general worldview and different philosophical ideas, so these matters can only be clarified to the ultimate degree when a person reaches to action. The truth is, we have a general principle in the Torah. That when a person wants to get to understanding and to rising up in levels, so you have to get to the actions. The actions are the key. This is the secret that the angels use. And the Jewish people, as they left Egypt, they were able to conceive of this when they said, Nasa v'nishma, we will do and we will listen. Meaning, through our actions, we will be able to understand, we will be able to hear. This is the depth, the secret aspect, the secret understanding of the statement of our sages. The main thing is not the learning, the main thing is the action. What does it mean? Even the learning itself, when does a person attain the learning truly? It's through action. Only the action itself truly clarifies these matters. And through action, a person comes to understanding the depth which is hidden inside of the Torah and the commandments. Called Dvar Torah Lamita, every word of Torah to its depth, to its truth. That through the actions, through the that which is that comes along with it, so it's possible to test it, to clarify it. What is the laboratory? Where does it happen? It's life itself. When a person brings the words of Torah into his life, person lives based on the Torah, then the matters will become clarified and become true to the heart. The heart will recognize the truth of them. As King David said, would that I should believe to see the good of Hashem in the land of the living. It's through the life that we live, which is the life of Torah, the actions that we take on, the actions that we do based on what we've learned. That's when we truly understand the Torah that we've been studying. Thanks for listening. To be continued.